gentlemen, welcome to my beginner guide to Elden Ring. Now, I am not myself a beginner. I've beaten this game upwards of 20 times as far as the base game goes, but my skill level is somewhere between that of a beginner and someone who's beat all of the Souls games multiple times. But this is basically just going to be how I play the game in a way that makes it easy enough to beat it while having a little bit of fun, or a lot of fun. I've done a run on every class except for the Wretch, but most of my runs end up being one class. By the end of it, I always end up doing the same thing. So to make your character, so for this I'm just going to choose a Vagabond with a lens between rune keepsake, which some people prefer to pick like the Fanged Imp Ashes, the Golden Seed, or Stone Sword Key can be good too. I'm gonna play as this guy. That's because I have the DLC. Don't worry about that. So you're gonna notice that your Vagabond is fat rolling right off the gate, right out of the gate. I'm gonna take off the heater shield, and I'm gonna keep the halberd because it's gonna help get the moveset down for the weapon that I'm gonna stick with for most, if not all, of the run. And it's been a minute since I played this game, so it's gonna help me warm back up to the moveset. I'm actually, so the controls, I'm gonna show you my control setup, but I only use this because I played Dark Souls first, so this is what's comfortable to me as a Dark Souls player. I I made my crouch button Y, my event action A, my jump, I made that left stick, and I actually don't think there's anything else I changed. I think the rest is default. But I have all that adjusted because I started on Dark Souls 3. Which this is actually... So you don't need to fight this. This is a completely optional boss. You could just let it kill you, or you can hop off the edge as soon as it spawns. But I'm going to try and fight it even though I know I'm going to lose based on how it's going so far. Yeah. Alright, this pathway is good because it shows you like how to do stuff. Like, it shows you instructions on how to do stuff. But most of the stuff that it shows you how to do isn't important to the game. Like, you're not going to use stealth ever. This is going to be your checkpoint. There's going to be hundreds of these little guys. This is the Site of Grace. This item is unnecessary unless you plan on doing multiplayer, which multiplayer is a fun component of these games, so you might want to do that. I recommend, so going into your equipment and in the character status section near the bottom you'll see equip load, and then it'll give you a number out of a number, and then below that it'll say either light load, medium load, heavy load, or overloaded, and you're going to want to keep that at medium load or light load because it affects your dodging. So medium is the absolute slowest roll you're going to want, just in general, because it gives you the minimum amount of dodges, like dodge timing that you need. I'm gonna talk to this guy, but I only talk to him because he makes it a little easier to access the DLC. To access a boss that you need to defeat to access the DLC, I should say. Alright, that should be his last. Yeah, and you're just gonna want to spam through dialogue if you don't care about the story. But also, you gotta be a little careful, because sometimes the dialogue will have, like options to say yes or no, and you're gonna want to like choose your decision wisely. I don't have anything to do here. All right, so actually, I might have something to do at the next site of grace we get to, but I'm gonna wait till we get there. Alright, yeah, this smithing stone, this is what you're going to use to upgrade your weapons. We actually don't need the smithing stone 1 because we're going to get a pre-upgraded weapon. So you can sell that, or you can keep it in case you want to change your weapons. But what I do is I just sell anything I have that I'm not going to use so I can level up, which is kind of a weird way of playing this kind of game, but that's just how I play it. And you're gonna, from this merchant here, Kale, you're gonna want to buy the crafting kit. This will help you craft these furl calling finger remedies, which you need for multiplayer. And it's a lot better to craft them than to buy them because they're super cheap. They're super cheap crafting materials wise, but they're expensive runes wise. Alright, so for the better part of this run, we're going to be using little to no FP, which is your magic stat. So I'm going to allocate my flasks so I have more healing ones, which are the red ones. Around the maps you'll find, or around the regions you'll find different materials. Earthly flowers are what you use to craft those furl calling finger remedies that I mentioned. So once you're just gonna basically follow the path that I took. So once you get out of that building, you're gonna go to that church, talk to that guy, buy the shit from him, sit at that site of grace, and then you're gonna come along this path, which luckily it's already marked for you. And there's a few optional. Most of any regular enemy like this is optional. There's going to be a bunch of optional enemies here, and you can kind of just run past them, or you can fight them if you want extra runes. And you're going to come across this camp, and you're going to see up ahead the next thing I'm going to be heading for. So I'm just going to run past this guy. Around the areas you'll find these, which give you map fragments, which are very helpful because they make it so you can actually see where you're going on the map. And then over in this, hidden amongst these bushes, there is a site of grace, and if you've rested at all of the previous ones, once you rested this one, you will get a cutscene, and it'll immediately it'll skip to nighttime. No matter what time of day it is, it'll set it to nighttime. And this is Melina. She is going to level you up throughout your run, technically. She doesn't appear most of the time you level up, but if she's here and you go to level up, oh, and she gives you this whistle, which is useful. I'll get to that in a second. If she's at the site of grace, it'll take slightly longer to level up because it'll give you this short animation. or that little talking, but if she's not there and you select level up, it'll just pull up this menu right away. So I'm actually going to level up strength and dexterity equally here, because I can't remember what stat the weapon I'm going for uses, but it should be both of those. Alright, so I'm going to actually go to the right D-pad slot on in my pouches in in this menu, and select and equip the spectral steed whistle that she just gave us. Because that makes it so when you hold down your event action button, it pulls up your pouches, and you can just click D-pad to pull your horse. Around the map, you'll find little skulls like that, and sometimes they'll be glowing, and they'll drop stuff like that. That guy that was just talking to us is an optional side quest, which I'm not going to do because I don't know the steps to it, and it doesn't affect the overall gameplay. This is a scarab. There are these kind of glowing gray ones, and there's also gold ones. And then there's blue and red ones. The blue and red ones refill your blue and red flasks, respectively. And then those ones give you like certain items, and then the gold ones, I believe, give you miracles, or maybe just spells in general, but I think it's just miracles. There might actually be blue ones that give you like sorceries. This is trolls pulling a cart, and they in the back of this cart, if you kill both of the trolls, there's a chest there that you can grab it, or grab an axe from, but that's not necessary for what we're going to be doing. Oh, I keep accidentally jumping off my horse, that's my bad. So yeah, you're going to keep kind of following this path that I've been taking from, we were over there, you can kind of see like right by where the tip of my helmet is, we were over there. Oh yeah, and, oh wait, I can't open my map. Here, let me get to the next site of Grace, which is just off of this path, and then I'll show you the map. Just make sure there's nothing to do here. Yeah. Oh yeah, so the map, we found Limgrave West, which the next one, you can, this, when you don't have a map, this is what you're going to be looking for to go get your next map. There's going to be some pathways on the like unmapped area, but then you're going to find this, which will have the map on it. But we are actually going to go down here to an area that I can't even see yet before we head over here. Yeah, I'm going to head that way. But you can also head this way first and do what, like you can do what I'm going to do over there before you come and do what I'm going to do over here. You can do those in either order, but I'm just going to do it this order because I'm already like going this way. But you'll be slightly more prepared if you go the other way first. And this is just how I play the game every time I play it. Okay, you're going to be careful on this bridge because that happens. Well, once you get past that, you're good. Another side of Grace, and now you can see we're on the Weeping Peninsula. Over here, there is a character. She has a very sad quest line. No spoilers for. I'm not gonna do any like quest line spoilers. I'm only gonna do spoilers for the main story of the game. But I'm not gonna do side quests except for that guy that I was talking about at the beginning with the white mask. because his is helpful for DLC stuff and fighting one of the remembrance bosses. Here's another one of these scarabs. This guy isn't useful. The thing he drops isn't useful, but you sell the thing he drops to get more runes, so that's useful. Alright, so there's another merchant up here, which you're going to find merchants like this scattered all around. Yeah, this guy sells smithing stones 1 and 2, and stone sword keys, which are useful. So this guy does have some good stuff. This talisman's alright, but it's not good compared to like some other ones that I'll be getting later on. So we're gonna go down there to that castle down there, but first I'm actually going to head up this mountain through these trees. And you're going to see that there's going to be cabins up here, and then there's going to be a bunch of rats. And the rats have a little, like, sickness. Essentially, you'll see their eyes are glowing, alongside them being giant, but that's standard. Their eyes are glowing like this orangish, yellowish fire. Oh, so is that guy. I forgot there was actual people. I thought it was just rats. So you're going to be coming up here. This is going to be a church. There are 12 churches around the map that will have a glowing blue item up front at the statue, and that is a sacred tear, and that will make your healing flasks better. And you can actually, there's 3 of those on the Weeping Peninsula, which I'm going to show you how to get to them now. We can actually get 10 of 12 before fighting any bosses, which is very cool. Because then you can go into the first boss and have your heals almost maxed out. Alright, so there is a specific spot on this cliff, because we're going to need to cross that bridge, but we can't just jump down to where the bridge is, because we'll die. But we can jump over here. We can grab that, which could be useful later for certain strategies, and then you drop down here. And then you can come up to the bridge. This guy, we're going to run past him. He's a scary dog. There is some optional stuff down there. And you can see that I'm coming up on our next church. The Church of Pilgrimage, which these are all like tied in, like the names of them are all tied into certain lore pieces you can find. Let's grab that. I don't use crafting very much in this game, except for the Froll calling thing for when I want to summon people. So that's blood grease. Yeah, that's what I was looking for. That blood grease it'll temporarily make your weapon do bleed buildup, which bleed buildup makes it so if after you've gotten a certain amount of hits on an enemy, they'll take a large amount of damage. That there is a walking monument. Those aren't going to be useful until much, much later. Maybe not even at all in this run, but I'll probably still talk about them. You can see our next church over here, and you can see a scarab that I actually don't know if I've ever killed. Oh, looks like it's a gold one. That's cool. You can see the scarabs will start to disappear if you don't kill them in time. Which, I'm gonna die. Oh no, I'm not. I forgot. The fall damage is a lot bigger than I thought. Okay, this is an Everjail. This one you need Stone Sword Key to access. But they contain little mini bosses that give you you can get like cool weapons from them sometimes. You get a bunch of random stuff, but I don't really know if there's any that I personally do, but there's one that a lot of people do because it gives you a really strong weapon, but it's not the weapon we're going for. Alright, and then before we head back to the site of grace we need to be at, make sure I'm not safe. Oh, wrong button. That tree right there, which that point was kind of sucky. That tree right there, at the base of those smaller Erd trees, that's the Erd tree. And then you can see there's another one there. I don't think we can see any other ones from where we are. And then there's that one. At the base of most of those, there is going to be an Erd tree avatar, which we're actually going to want to kill the one at the base of that one once we're leveled up a little bit more. And they will give you a certain bonus item that I'll get to later. Oh yeah, I can just fast travel. So you can open up your minimap and go to any site of grace that you've previously visited, which this is the one that I need to go to. Alright, so when it's nighttime, you're going to see those guys in certain parts around the map. They're mini-bosses that you get, like, different stuff from them. Here's another map. This is the Weeping Peninsula map. Oh, and then up there, watch out for that. Up there, you'll see a little tiny, like, gold sprout little tree. That will give you a golden seed, which is another item to upgrade your flasks. That'll make it so you have more uses of your flask. So once I use that, we'll go from 4 to 5 for now. This guy is actually a lot easier to take down than his counterparts. This is I think they're called golems. Their legs are their weak points when they're glowing. Sometimes they'll have like leg armor. But you hit their legs enough, they fall over, and then you can run up to their chest like this and get some huge damage in. That guy in particular is, I think he's supposed to be like the first one you encounter, so he's a little easier than some of the later ones. Okay, certain areas will have this little glow on the entrance. They're like, they're called dungeons, is what like the level area is called. And they basically just mean that you can't ride your horse in that area. Alright, so flasks. You can add charge to flasks to use your golden seeds, and then increase amount replenished by flasks is how you use your sacred tears, which we have like 3 or 4 of those. Yeah, we have 3 of those right now. So, look at that, already 5 plus 3 flasks, and we are 23 minutes in. Not even half an hour in, and our flasks are already like a fourth of the way upgraded and almost half max out. Okay, so in this castle, we are coming here for one thing and one thing only, which isn't anything to do with these dogs or those misbegotten folk up there. You can kind of just run past everybody, look out for that giant guy. He's not going to do anything. See, he's napping. You're going to want to run as fast as you can and get to this ladder. And climb up it without getting attacked by that guy. Can he come up the ladder? He can climb up the ladder. You are going to run, once you get up here, you are going to run like hell. past that guy, he's gonna run for you. And then these guys, there's gonna be, is there 2 archers? Yeah, there's 2 archers. They're relatively easy to slip by. You're gonna come over here, jump down here, which jump by default will be A, but again, I changed my binds. There's gonna be a bunch of guys fighting over here, which, since they're fighting already, it makes it a lot easier to just run past them. And this fellow up here, you can talk to him and I'll tell you like his backstory or whatever. And he'll give you this, which, as long as you don't die, you don't actually need that. I'm going to, I can't hit him without, I want to see if I can backstab him. I can, cool, that's going to be useful because that's going to give me some more damage. We are going to kill this guy because he has the weapon that we want. Oh. Yeah, so this is where your extra healing flasks that we obtained and better healing. This is where they're gonna come in handy. You don't want to let this guy heal also, because he can also heal. He can only heal once. All NPC enemies can only heal once. That was actually pretty easy to kill him, but you might have a harder time because NPCs are annoying to fight. But look at this. Banished Knight's Halberd +8. That means it's already used all of its +1 and +2 stones it needs, so you only need +3s and forward. Which is a lot, but it's a lot cheaper still. But look at that damage, because it's a +8. It's got about 60 more damage, and it's got C dexterity scaling, which is better than our halberd. But it has slightly worse strength scaling. You can see because the D on this is blue, but which means it's slightly better, but it's still in D tier. And spinning strikes is honestly, it could just be the when you run for the whole thing, and you can kind of just do this, and it uses your FP, but you can kind of just walk towards enemies doing this sometimes. Sometimes you can't do that like your whole run. And then you can kind of just like drop down here. And honestly, you probably could have fast traveled after you killed that guy and picked up the thing. Oh yeah, there's gonna be a bunch of these around the map, and they're all gonna have this until you pick it up from one, because you can. That's also a multiplayer item, but it's gonna be available at all of those until you pick it up, which I don't normally will. Thank you for the runes, dog. This weapon is one of my favorites, especially in terms of the halberd class. For one thing, it starts already upgraded. Let's level up. So we're going to level up dexterity because that means we're going to do more damage with this weapon. And you can see on the weapon it has a little thing in the bottom corner, and that just means it's a standard infusion. And there's plenty of infusions, but this, we're probably going to keep it standard or make it quality if I can remember how to do that. Which there is actually an item I forgot to pick up. Luckily I need to come back this way anyway, but there's an item I forgot to pick up. So you're going to go back to this side of Grace, which is the one where we got our horse earlier. This is a DLC loading screen, so don't mind that. That doesn't come into play until you spend another $40 in the game, which it is worth it. I don't mean to say that it's like, oh, it costs another $40. It's very much worth it for that DLC. Alright, yeah, so something I actually forgot to pick up while we were here, which you can just, if you're watching this before you play and then you're going to do all the stuff after having watched this all the way through, you can just come here on your first run in the Gatefront Ruins, or you can just come back here when I'm going along if you're playing along. Down here there's this chest, and there is a whetstone knife, which lets you put Ashes of War onto your weapons. And you can find different wet blades around the map, or around the world, that give you different types of infusions. And I think I want to find the quality wet blade later on, but we're not there yet. Alright, so now you're going to follow this pathway, which, here, let me just show you where that side of Grace is. it's not invisible from here. Is it? Yeah, it's right there. That's where the site of grace is. You're gonna come up here. Oh, and this, your horse has a double jump. It's not like a crazy high double jump, but it is versatile. I don't know what this is. Cookbook. Cookbooks give you more recipes for your crafting. Another side of grace here. And there is an NPC encounter we can go do down here, which I actually will go do now since I have the +8 weapon. I'm going to show you. This is another optional thing, but is very helpful for getting more souls later on throughout the game. So once you get like right around here, you'll get kicked off your horse, and you'll see that you can't. In the top corner under my stamina bar, you'll see that I can't. That means you can't like teleport to a site of grace, and that is because you're getting invaded by this NPC. And then you'll also get, the game will also auto-summon a guy to help you. Okay, this guy has very low poise. His only good things that he has for himself are his blood loss buildup on you. But he has low poise, low health. Obviously our weapon's really good too, because it's really good for this early in the game. Because you might not have a +8 until way later on, normally. See, he still killed me because he has that blood loss effect. Which, having more armor, see that guy's supposed to help us, but he takes forever. Having more armor, like different armors, will make your blood loss, like you'll take less. This is also DLC, don't worry about that. Alright, so yeah. I'm gonna go fight that guy until I kill him, which it shouldn't take me that long. I don't know why. I should have tried harder. Should have tried harder last time. Oh yeah, see, in here you can craft these. These heal your horse, which are cool, but it's not like hyper useful or anything. See, I feel like it kicked me off my horse earlier that time. Let's just get back up to full health. He also has ranged attacks, which is what he killed me with last time. He was just prepping up to do it, but I hit him before he could do it. He has like ever so slightly enough poise. Oh, see, that is the animation that plays when you have no flasks, but since he's an NPC, he only has one. There we go, look. And then the guy over there that's supposed to help us. He'll drop his Reduvia, which we actually... I don't believe we have the stats to use it. Yes. We don't have the arcane stat to use it, but I was going to say that we might use it later for killing something, but we won't. We'll just find... We'll probably be able to find something else that has the bleed buildup effect. Or we just won't kill the thing. No, we're going to kill it. It is very useful early game. What version of the game is this? Did they... I don't think they've released a new patch recently for this one. Alright, so in this cave that you have to defeat that NPC to get in this cave. There's going to be some bells that you'll ring by running through. But you're basically just going to want to run away from those guys and run into here, which you'll see boss fog, but there's not a boss in here. So you're going to open this, and you're going to take this clothes out, and then you're going to be accosted. By this fellow. Which he is... He's got a spear and a great shield, which you can combo. So he can attack you while being defended, but he doesn't, because he's a dumb NPC. Okay, he's gonna plead for you to like stop like this, but you're not. You're just gonna kill him because we're not gonna do his quest. And once we kill him, we will get his bell bearing, and we'll get a +7 spear. So if you want to use a spear instead of this halberd, you can. And then we're just gonna go back up to this side of Grace here. And we can head back. We're gonna head back this way, but we're not gonna. Once we drop down, we're not gonna turn and go that way. We're gonna keep going, and then we're gonna use this little thing that I was talking about earlier, a spirit stream, I believe it's called. It's either a spirit stream or a spirit spring. Those are both different things in this and Elden Ring Night Rain. That is a useless smithing stone to us, personally. This is one of the only trees that doesn't have the guy, one of the mini-bosses that I was talking about at it. This just gives you the upgrade that I was talking about, but you might be able to see in the distance over there a church, and that's actually going to have 2 upgrades for us instead of just the 1 flask upgrade. Up there, actually, we are going to go... We're not going to go rescue the Great Kenneth Height, because we're not going to do this quest. And as far as I know, you don't get anything special for doing it. Let's see, we're going to hit him once to get him into a better position, and then we're going to backstab him. Oh, and he's easy pickings from here. Yeah, so we're going to kill him and get... I think we get his dagger. Yeah. Oh, no, we just get the golden seed, which... you'll remember from earlier is a flask upgrade. Oh, and this is one of those red scarabs I was talking about earlier that give you more flasks. So let me drink my flask so you can see I have 4. And then I kill him, and I get 5 again. Yeah, you'll see this church is a little different in construction to the other ones. And in here, you'll notice there's a gold item there, but we're going to pick up the tier first. And then this item, the Crimson Crystal tier, and the Flask of Wondrous Physic. So it's going to automatically equip itself in your like hotbar or whatever. And so we're going to upgrade our flask with all the stuff we got. We're not gonna talk to Melina. This will pop up with the dot next to it, like you're supposed to do it. But those are all story things. So Mixed Wondrous Physic, you'll see you have 2 things here, and you get this one for free. Restores half of total HP in Mixed Physic, which depending on your playstyle, that can be useful. But I am not using that tier, which is what they're called. I'll be going to get some different ones throughout the run. Which once you defeat the Erd Tree Avatar mini bosses at the base of these trees, you get Physic tiers. There's a select few that I'm going to be getting. Alright, so you're going to come through here and you're going to see that there's this ping that I placed earlier because there is the map segment over here for East Limgrave, I believe. Yes, in Limgrave East. And then you're going to keep following this forest path. You're going to keep following it. You're going to run past these ruins. Actually, you're going to run into these ruins. You're going to hear howling, and that's a character for later that we're not going to do because I'm just doing the standard ending of this game. This isn't technically how I play. This is how I would play if I wasn't going for any specific ending. Oh yeah, through that path, you'll see a special glowing message on the ground. And if you go through the path that it's next to, you'll find a merchant, but he's not particularly useful to us right now. Oh, I know where we can get blood, a bleeding thing. And I shouldn't have sold my sword earlier, now that I think about it. Why can't I jump up here? I swear I should be able to jump up that. I think I was thinking in my my Night Rain brain where you can double jump as, wall jump as a character. Alright, so you're gonna see there's another one of these, so we can get another golden seed already. We've already gotten 3, which I actually think we might not be able to upgrade that again. I think we might need 2 before we can get upgraded again. Okay, we're gonna get kicked off our horse when we land. We are now in Fort Height, which sounds like Fortnite. These are explosive barrels. Don't let those fireballs hit them. Or if you have a fire weapon, which I don't see where you'd get that if you've been following me guys as I've been doing. What the fuck? I'm not gonna die, because why would I die here? I never die here. We're just gonna run up here. Honestly, I'm having like a weird time right now. It's been a minute. Man. This guy, he is going to come attack us. We are going to run up this ladder. Holding B does make you go up ladders faster. You're gonna see he just had some blood on his sword, which is like a little tease towards what he's gonna give us. While we're waiting for him to get up the ladder, we're gonna open this chest and get this, which is useful. This is an important key item. But as you can see, it's only half of the full item. It's the left half. And we're gonna stand at the top of the ladder. This guy takes fucking ever. Is he even coming up still? He is. God damn. Ah, okay. There we go. Yeah, so we're gonna kill him and we're gonna get the Ash of War Bloody Slash, which will be useful later. Now that we're done there, we can go to the third church, back to the Third Church of America, where we got our wondrous physic. Oh, that's funny. That loading screen was this church. Ashes of War. Yes, we cannot apply the one we want to. Oh wait, these are quality. Oh, and quality wasn't even the infusion I wanted, so I do still have to find the other wet blade. Yes, we will need a different type of sword, but we're gonna get it back on our horse. And we are going to run. We actually don't need to be on our horse because this is a short run, but it's into these trees here. And there's I actually can't remember what these are called. They're called like waygates or something stupid. But we're going to go through that, and we're going to see this cool wolf guy who we saw earlier. He was on top of that brick structure, but he's not a important character technically. Grail's Dragon Barrow. You're gonna see that big guy there. He's actually not gonna attack us, basically, for some reason. This guy, he is once again optional. There's gonna be a lot of stuff that I'm gonna tell you is optional. This we're gonna do something very specific here. Melina, this lady's gonna pop up again.
Forgive me.
She's gonna tell us that she was testing us, yada yada. And then you're gonna get this option. You're gonna press B or square on PlayStation, and that'll like just put what the offer she just gave us. It's gonna put it in the back pocket, and we can just use it whenever we're out of sight of Grace. And you can see another tree down here to get another golden seed. I always fight early on, because his moveset's easy, especially if you've played Dark Souls 1. So he one-shots you, but you can dodge his attacks fairly easily, especially if you've played Dark Souls 1, as I was saying, because Stake of America, this is a cool feature. We're going to choose to respawn at that Stake of America, because that's going to put us a lot closer to where we died, like really close to where we died, rather than all the way back at that side of Grace. He has the moveset of the first boss in Dark Souls, but slightly altered. And like a little faster, and the gameplay's a little, all just in general, a little faster. So what you're gonna do is not get hit by that guy, so you can go around him to make that a little easier. You might get lasers shot at you once you get a certain distance away from him. But you're gonna come around to the back of this tree, and you're gonna jump up this, and you're actually gonna see what we need that bleed for. It's a giant dragon. But we don't have to worry about that now because we don't have a weapon that we can do bleed with yet. We will be getting that before we advance too much further. So you're actually gonna, there's this castle here, it's Fort Faroth, I believe. Yes, Fort Faroth. Or Faroth. You're gonna run past these guys. These are like bat ladies that give you poison. So you're probably gonna get poisoned. Oh no, I was actually fast enough to not get poisoned. Oh, and I spoke too soon. You're gonna get poisoned here. It doesn't matter all that much. The poison ticks slow enough that you can heal it off. Scarlet Rot is the one that you're gonna want to worry about. So you're gonna get this, and it's the right half of that thing we got earlier, which means we can use it to go to access a late game, or a mid game area a little earlier, it just makes it easier to access that area in general. You're gonna pick up this item, not get killed by that rat, but his eyes were glowing. They were like rune glowing, which means he gives you extra runes if you kill him, but he's already too far gone. So you're gonna run past these rats, and you are going to get honestly, what's the word? Love it or hate it, I'll say that. And you're gonna die to that guy. You're gonna lose 3,000 runes there, but it doesn't matter actually. If you didn't level up earlier, it doesn't really matter there. This is a love it or hate it medallion. I love it personally. I always use it, even though it makes you take more damage. That's why people don't like it, is because it makes you take more damage. But it also kind of counteracts that damage by giving you more health. So we're going to put that in our current only slot. It gives you, what is it? Here, it raises your strength, dexterity, endurance, and vigor all by 5. Which is not insignificant. That's, what? How many stats was that? 4 stats? Yeah, that's 20 free levels. Okay, so here we're going to actually drop down, but then we're going to use this to jump up on top of this white barnacle structure. And we're going to get some late game upgrade materials. Smithing stone 7, 8, stone sword key, and another smithing stone 8. And then we're going to drop back down here, and you're going to see there's this next church. And we are now in, if you couldn't tell, we're in a different area. This is Caelid. This is the Scarlet Rot affected area of the map. There's jokes about about Melania, the goddess of rot, cancer nuking this place is what people say. This chick here has a quest which actually could be useful to us to do part of it, to do a decent part of it actually. I might keep that in mind for later because we can get a medallion. Did I call it a medallion earlier? It's a it's a talisman. I don't know if I called it a medallion. She can give us a talisman that upgrades our dexterity and stuff, and gives us an extra little attack boost that will be useful. So I might actually end up doing her quest later, but I'll cover that if I do it. we're gonna run along this path here, which actually this isn't even the path I normally take. But it might be the safer or easier one to do for more inexperienced people. But also then again, you can see that I took it a little too fast there, so you might want to be careful. You're gonna see a giant bird there. Don't worry about it. It won't hurt you, I think. No. You're gonna see there's another church up there, but that one doesn't actually have a tier at it. So we don't need to go to that one, but there is another map here, which I actually think there's only the one tier in Caelid. I believe. I'll have to check my map once I get a chance. And there is this merchant here, but I don't believe he has anything particular that we need. Nope. Let's see, what? We are going to fast travel. No, we're not. No, we're not. Yes, we are. We're gonna fast travel back up to the Fort Faroth side of Grace. Which... Okay, 51 minutes. Okay. Which might give us just enough time. So you're going to sit at this side of Grace, or you can sit at any of them, it doesn't matter. You're going to upgrade your flasks with all the stuff you've gotten, which gets us at half our max amount of flasks, and just under half what we're going to be before we fight our first boss in terms of upgrades. Alright, so you're going to tell her to take you to the round table hold, which will take you to like your home base area of the map, or of the map in the game. Alright, so in the round table hold, there is a bunch of stuff you can do. But straight away, the first thing I'm going to do because I'm trying to do this very specific thing, is not go this way, because I forgot to do something first. Hello, this is your blacksmith, Hugh. We're going to sell... you can just look and watch what I sell and don't sell. I might slow it down too. Alright, so you're going to sell all that shit, and then you're going to come to these nice ladies, and you are going to purchase, honestly, any of these. I'm going to go with this, because I know the moveset, and it's the cheapest. And then we are going to come around to here. Oh, that's what I forgot that we need to do with these ladies also. I am so forgetful. We can give these ladies bell bearings, which we got patches earlier, and that gives us bell bearing shop too. And we're gonna get these gold pickled fowl feet and Margit's shackle, which will help us on 2 bosses. 2 bosses and 1 optional mini encounter. And then we're gonna come back to the Table of Lost Grace, and we're gonna which is basically a big site of grace. We're going to go to Ashes of War. You're going to go to your dagger and equip Bloody Slash with the Blood Affinity. And then we're going to level up, and we're just going to level up Dexterity more. We're just going to get that leveled up a bunch, because we're going to be able to level up our other stats very soon. Here, I'm going to remove that pin. You might have already done that. We're going to go back to Fort Faroth once more. Let's just check the time one more time. Okay, yes, I got 6 minutes. I can show you what I am trying to do. Even if I go over an hour, it doesn't matter. Alright, so you're gonna equip your dagger in any weapon slot. It doesn't matter. Um, but actually, do I have to be on my horse? Okay, no, you're gonna come up here and you're gonna whoop this dragon. You are going to whoop. Actually, okay. Real quick, you're gonna equip in your left D-pad slot. You're gonna equip your gold pickled foul feet, and your down D-pad slot in your pocket. You're gonna equip the shackle. So okay, now you're just gonna whip this, and you're gonna see 13,000 damage. That's from the blood effect, which is why we needed the blood, because it makes killing this dragon a whole lot easier. Look at that, already a bunch of its health. So what blood loss does, is it has a build up, obviously, and the build up, it does get more each time you do it. So it's gonna take more and more hits to make this dragon bleed. But what happens at the blood loss is it takes a percentage of the enemy's health. So the more health they have, the more damage it's gonna do to them, which means it'll always do the same percentage of their health. So it's good for really high health enemies, because it makes it so your regular attacks, you can do less regular attacks, because it'll take off a huge percentage of their max HP. Which, the dagger is actually a lot better for this than I remembered. Unless they just buffed blood, but I don't think so. Yeah, you can see I'm only doing about 11 damage per swing to this boss, and that's because she has, or it's not the boss, this dragon, and that's because she has a high damage resistance. That's why blood's so good. Poison is also technically good, because it's poison. Actually, I think Scarlet Rot is good, because I think it does a set percentage of your health per second. I think that's how Scarlet Rot works. But that's like a... I don't know if you can even do a Scarlet Rot infusion. You can only get it from, like, spells. And so we're going to bleed her one more time. I think one more time. I'll have to see what her health looks like when we do it one more time. Okay, yeah, we're gonna bleed her that time, and then we're going to we're gonna use this, which will make it so we get more runes. Actually, we can also, something else you can do, you can go to multiplayer, press Y or triangle, and enter group password, Seekers. This is a YouTuber's thing, and when certain people in there kill certain bosses, you'll get a rune gain. But we're going to use the gold pickled foul feet to get a guaranteed rune gain here. And we're going to bleed her. We're going to make her bleed one more time. And then I'm going to do a trick where you get on your horse as fast as you can after you see her health go all the way down, and you rest at the site of grace as fast as you can, and you'll see that I got a bunch of runes, but she's still there. Normally, if you don't go back to the site of grace, she'll die, but you can farm her infinitely, technically. But I'm just going to farm her that one time, since we only have 2 minutes before that first hour of the game is done. But we're going to use these levels that we just got. We're going to level up our vigor to 25. And we're going to upgrade our dexterity a lot more, because dexterity, that's our damage. Actually, we're going to do dexterity up to 25, and then endurance up to, yeah, that's going to work. So that'll mean we got more stamina. And so we're just going to keep this just in our inventory for when we come back to her. But there's not really anything else in particular that you need to do. Alright, so this is editing voiceover me. I'm gonna like re-clarify stuff that I didn't say while I was recording this portion of the video that you're seeing in the background. So on my character, you'll see that there's like this particle effect around me, and it looks like it's like dropping down almost, is like the best way I can describe it. And that is showing that I have a debuff. You can also see in the corner under my stamina bar, there is a sword icon and like a body armor icon that both have arrows pointing down on them. That is showing the same debuff as the particle effects around the character. So basically, the reason I got this debuff is because this dragon will roar and it'll give you an attack and defense debuff. Um, and so you'll see there's like different particle effects you can see around your character. But if it's going up, it's a buff, and if it looks like it's going down like these, it's a debuff. It's like a pretty good way to tell if it's good or bad for you. All of that being said, thank you for watching this guide. I hope it was helpful. This is my first time trying to do something like this, so yeah, have a good rest of your day.